Agbor Balla rubbishes Anglophone leaders. The renowned human rights lawyer states some cowardice moves by Anglophone-appointed elites who enjoy the sweet honey of the state alone. He said, "In Cameroon's political landscape, the question of legitimate representation for Anglophones remains unresolved. Can the current Anglophone political leaders genuinely claim to speak for the people they represent? If so, why is their silence deafening on critical development issues, such as the Limba Deep Seaport? Their inability or unwillingness to rise and defend regional interests starkly contrasts with the assertiveness of elected officials from other regions, such as the far north. Anglophone Cameroon has long suffered from political and economic marginalization, yet those who claim to represent the region, whether mayors, parliamentarians, regional assembly members, senators, or government-appointed officials, rarely challenge the status quo. Anglophone leaders remain passive on issues of fundamental importance. Small wonder that they are indifferent towards the realization of the Limba Deep Seaport, a seaport which would transform the economic fortunes of the southwest and northwest regions. This project holds immense potential for job creation, trade, and regional development, yet Anglophone leaders seem incapable of demanding action. If they truly spoke for the people, why haven't they raised these concerns with the same intensity as their peers from other regions? Anglophone leaders should take a leaf from their counterparts from the far north region. During Minister of State Ferdinand Ngo's visit to Kusuri in Cameroon's far north region on February 15, 2025, local political leaders, elites, and residents protested to ensure their grievances were heard. This incident highlights the proactive stance of far north leaders and residents in advocating for their region's development and well-being, contrasting with the more passive approaches observed among regions facing similar challenges. The silence of Anglophone political leaders in the face of economic stagnation, broken promises, and delayed projects suggests that many are more focused on protecting their positions than advocating for their people. They remain passive, seemingly content with their positions while the region remains trapped in economic stagnation. Some may have grown complacent, prioritizing personal benefits over the collective good. Worse still, some may be complicit in the systemic neglect, content with symbolic representation while avoiding real advocacy. Whatever the reason, their inaction sends a clear message. Anglophones cannot rely on these leaders to champion their interests. The people must instead take ownership of their destiny by demanding accountability, supporting leaders who prioritize development, and pushing for a new political class that will not shy away from defending regional interests. The way forward, Agbor Balla reiterates. What is the essence of having leaders who do not lead? If Anglophone leaders cannot speak for their people, then who will? The time has come for new voices to emerge. Leaders who will challenge economic neglect and advocate for transformative projects like the Limba Seaport. Development cannot happen in silence. It requires courageous, bold, unapologetic representation, just as seen in other regions of Cameroon. Until then, the question remains, do Anglophone leaders truly represent their people, or are they merely symbolic placeholders in a system that continues to sideline their region while the leaders remain comfortably in office, doing nothing and benefiting from their positions as their people suffer from neglect, economic decline, and unfulfilled promises? Anglophones must demand more from their leaders by challenging those in positions of power to act, rather than remain silent. Supporting leaders who show courage and are willing to confront the government. Rejecting complacency and demanding real advocacy for long-promised projects. Isabella reporting for AKO Media.